Oh my god, the SAT is Saturday, I'm freaking out, chill. My name is Patrick with Prep Mindful, and I'm here to share some tips for achieving peak performance on test day. At the end of this video, there'll be a list of essential items you have to bring to the test, as well as some suggestions. But before that, I want to talk about the best way to prepare. Ideally, your test day ritual will be something that you get to rehearse several times with practice tests. However, if you're not in that position, fret not. There are still steps that we can take to maximize our performance. As soon as you get a chance, take 5 to 10 minutes, a pen and paper, and sketch out what would your ideal test day morning look like. I'll share a few ideas and a sample of how I would prepare, but you really want to take some moments to think, when do I feel at my best? What makes me sharpest? And to execute on those. Obviously you want to be well rested, but I've seen some students interpret this to mean, okay, I'll go to bed at 8 p.m. That way I'll have a nice 10 hours of sleep before the test. That's not a very good plan. We're not entirely sure scientifically how sleep works, but it's pretty well proven that throwing that kind of wrench into your schedule will not lead to your best performance. So you want to be reasonable with yourself. A good plan might be to try to get to bed at 10 p.m. And in that case, then you want to stop looking at screens starting at 9 p.m. because of the way that the light can affect your sleep quality. Before you turn off your phone, confirm when you would have to leave your house to get to the testing center by 7:30. That way you can decide, this is when I'm leaving, and it's not something you have to worry about in the morning. Furthermore, you want to pack your bag with all of those essentials and suggested items that'll be at the end of the video. 2 more steps I would take the night before. 1. Choose a news article which you will read the next morning. Nothing too long, a few paragraphs, but something that vaguely interests you. And 2. Sit for 5 minutes and visualize the morning that you're going to have. You know that feeling of when you write out a to-do list and then you do what you said you were going to do and you get to check the box and you get kind of a rush of positive feeling? We want to do that in the morning before our test. So you write out and think about, okay, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to do X, I'm going to do Y, and then you get to check those off as you go through it the following morning. Feel some momentum before you walk into the test. Here's my checklist for the morning of the test, which you can follow along with or design your own. Wake up with plenty of time to spare. First thing you do, some kind of physical activity. I might roll right out of bed and do 20 push-ups on the floor, 20 jumping jacks, or even take a step outside and walk around the block. You want to wake your body up somehow and have your brain release the chemicals that signal to your body, it is no longer time for sleep, we will be doing things today, thank you. Pretty soon you're going to be sitting in a room for 3 or 4 hours. So you want to signal to your body, we are not in bed anymore, and even though we are sitting still and not moving, this is not the time to go back to sleep. After I get the blood pumping a little bit, I'll have a coffee with butter in it, because I'm into that kind of thing. And I might have a small smoothie. What's most important is that you follow the breakfast ritual that you have found to be most successful for you. This is not the time to try out new things. If you don't ordinarily have breakfast or coffee, then today is not the day for a 5-egg omelet and a double shot of espresso. We want to reduce the variables. After I've had my coffee and smoothie, I'll jump in the shower. And at the end of that shower, I'll take 30 seconds where I turn off the hot water and I'm writhing in pain under the cold. It really wakes your body up. It makes you feel kind of like a hero. Then I get dressed in the outfit that I already visualized the night before. Something comfortable that I wouldn't mind sitting in for 4 hours, and a light sweatshirt in case it's chilly in the room. Then I pull up the newspaper article that I chose the night before. The main idea is to make sure that the test is not the first thing I read today. Even with my push-ups and cold shower, I might be a little groggy by the time the test starts, and I don't want to open the reading section and think, oh right, the English language exists. I want to already have used some of those mental muscles. So I'll read the newspaper article, and then set it down and ask myself a simple question. What was the author trying to communicate? And then I try to answer it in 1 to 2 sentences, to no one in particular. It's the kind of exercise I'll be doing a bunch today, so I might as well get warmed up. Then, having woken up with plenty of time to spare, I take a little bit of me time. For me, that means a 5 to 10 minute mindfulness meditation, so that the waves that have built up inside my mind can settle, and I won't be so stressed out. If that's not really your style, then maybe just sit and listen to your favorite song, something that brings you joy. Something that reminds you that the whole world is not this test, that happiness exists, and that good things can happen. When it comes time to leave, you can pick up the bag that you've already packed and get on your way to the test. Here are the things that I'd make sure were in my bag. First, my admission ticket to the test, gonna need that. A test-approved ID, sharpened number 2 pencils with erasers that work, and a test-approved calculator, along with extra batteries. Those are all 100% essential. You're not gonna get very far without them. Then there are a few items that I find to be pretty useful. First one is a wristwatch. It's not gonna make any noise. I use this one. It's an analog watch, and it doesn't know how to beep. What I do is rather than using the watch to tell me what time it is in the world, I treat it like a timer, making it so that the section will end at noon. So for instance, at the beginning of the first section, the reading, I set the clock to be 10:55 because that's 65 minutes before noon. And that way, if I look at my wrist, I can quickly see how much time I have left, and I don't have to do any kind of mental math, subtraction, or anything like that. The second is a healthy snack. I'd probably bring beef jerky and carrots, because I like those things. The most important thing about the snack, though, is it's something that fuels you well. If you've never had beef jerky before, this is not the day to try. and finally a bottle of water. With these tools in my toolkit and a successful morning already behind me, I'm ready to do my best on the test. Best of luck out there. And remember, the SAT is not a test about reading, it's not a test about math or grammar or endurance or anything like that. It is a test of marks of graphite on a piece of paper. That's all that it means, and that's all that it cares about. So do whatever it takes to put the graphite in the spot on the piece of paper where the machine is looking for it, and you'll be as successful as you can. My name is Patrick, and this has been Prep Mindful.